What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage and we are back today with a quick video update in regards to the Note 5, Note 10 characters I am bringing, so that way you guys can get a sense in regards to, how high I've brought them, but as well as the Iso-8s that have been utilized, as well as T4 upgrades and so forth, the synergies there. In case you're wondering which teams and synergies I am using, the best characters to train and build up, I did make a separate video earlier last week in regards to that, so I will put that in the link in the description below if you guys are interested, the node by node breakdown for each team I'm using. But for this video, I am focused specifically on Notes 5 and Notes 10, just because they are going to be the main bottlenecks. For those of you that are attempting the Scourge for the very first time and haven't unlocked any legendary horsemen before, you can already see that there is actually a milestone screen here for the War Scourge. As you can see, 7 hours 17 minutes time recording. If you go ahead and hit preview, you already can get a sense of how to actually unlock RedHulk immediately. Generally, this is required at about 500k points if you want to unlock him immediately in the first run. And generally, guys, what does that equate to Scourge? Generally, that is difficulty level 4 with all Scourges activated, or difficulty 5 with a couple activated. So my recommendation is to go through difficulty 5 if you're able, but then as well with those difficulties you do need either the wave 1 Avengers, Ravagers, or Heroes Asgardians as part of that requirement to go through Notes 5 and Notes 10. So just a heads up. I'll definitely be making another video on how to unlock him in all the different difficulty levels as I progress, but that's just in a high level overview in regards to how you can actually unlock him when his event comes live today. So that's it, guys. Let's dive into my roster real quick here. This is going to include all the wave 1, all the Ravagers, and all the Heroes as Guardians, which characters I'm planning to bring in, as well as which ones are going to be utilized as part of a sacrificial attempt in regards to getting us through to the finish line. So I am going to start top down just because I think it makes the most sense to see my most powerful characters here. So I've already hearted all of them, but the majority of the ones on the bottom are actually my Ravager minions, just because I haven't built up the team. Also, I don't know if they're going to find success as well as the other characters I've starred. Out of the 15 characters here, I'm likely utilizing only 10 of them, and the last 5 really are the ones that are going to be the ones that are going to be a punching bag, so to speak, to soak up damage, to get us to the finish line in regards to ultimately completing the nodes. So first and foremost, guys, tier 15 Thor, level 85. I've T4'd everything on him. He's going to be the main weapon for me, just because I got him at a 7 red, so I got to fully utilize his damage. But for him specifically, having the Raider Iso-8 is huge, because you're going to just see that with Thor, he's going to have so much off-turn damage every time he synergizes with the Heroes as Guardians or Wave 1. And keep in mind as well, we can bring him in on the earlier nodes as well, before we actually utilize him in Node 5, so that way he does have his stun ready to go, just because his Lightning Storm is very powerful, but you can see does cost quite a bit of energy. So it might be one of those instances where we can charge him up before the battle that's needed for himself. But again, his synergy with Jane, as well as the rest of the wave 1, is going to be huge, because he can have those off-turn attacks, which do some devastating damage when it compounds with the Raider Iso-8. Next up, in my opinion, one of the most important characters that we're going to utilize that's going to be underappreciated is actually Hulk himself. With Hulk, he's going to be soaking up damage. If you slot him into any of the teams with the Wave 1 as well as the Heroes as Guardians, he's going to be able to take away damage from characters that we need protected. He has a natural taunt. I put an Iso-8 healer on him because it's been actually amazing how much he can actually sustain himself. Better yet, his special here, Rage, actually allows him to cleanse negative conditions. He gains counters, as well as has a really good heal. You can see healing himself for 7,000 plus 30%, and then plus the Iso-8 on himself. It makes him a very, very scary tank. And best of all, his damage is pretty decent as well. He can add some much needed DPS for any kind of synergistic team, but highly recommend it because he's going to be taking away damage and protecting Thor. And best part is, when he gets attacked, he's also going to be generating charges through Thor. Next up, Star-Lord T'Challa. He's going to be more of a utility character. I wouldn't recommend him for the main 5 that I'm going to utilize, but I think he's going to be bringing into the team dynamic in regards to if there's a attack that we need him to kind of soak up, or as well maybe he needs to blind a character right away due to his speed, right? One of the fastest characters that we have with the that I'm planning to use, and his gravity repulsor special ability, you know, he's gonna be able to apply blind and defense down, and if he gets the edge on the enemy, such as Omega Red, he's able to actually apply that blind, so that way their attacks will miss. So that's why I brought him on. He was already high up just due to the fact that I utilized him in Dark Dimension 5, and I think a lot of folks will already have T'Challa naturally built up, so makes the most sense. Because we need to apply that blind effectively, it makes the most sense to have the Skirmisher Iso-8, so that way it does land with the additional focus. That's my recommendation there, guys. Overall, a great character because he still gets evasion, he still can copy buffs next to characters adjacent to him, so a great all-around kit. But because of his squishiness, I don't know how well he's going to hold up in a main team, but for sure a utility character that can provide us you know, value to get the main team across to the finish line. We have Valkyrie, and personally, I think she's going to be part of my main team, synergizing with Thor, synergizing with Jane, just because she has a couple of handy skills, but I actually also slotted in a Raider with her just to do some additional damage. Her Valkyrie's charge here, both her attacks actually can apply some crowd controlling, which is huge, but as well, you know, defense up, counter. She's going to be providing value to her fellow hero Asgardians, being able to protect them as well as apply stun. Her Dragon's Fang Bite also, you can see here, applying ability block. So I think she's going to be a utility character overall, but part of my main team, synergizing with both Thor and Jane, and as well as adding charges for Thor whenever she does get attacked as well. Great character and kit, and those are going to be the three coming out of the heroes: Asgardians plus Thor, plus Hulk. And then, like I said earlier, Mighty Thor, Jane, she's very powerful, guys. I actually recommend utilizing a Striker on her just because, you know, someone needs to take advantage of those vulnerables that we're applying on the enemies, and it makes sense to have her damage overall, as well as scaling with her HP. Statistically, she's one of the better characters right now that we have here, just with her being newer. And as well, she's got some really great potent abilities that actually synergize extremely well with Thor, but as well as being able to apply to blind. Now, depending on how high you go in the difficulties, this may or may not land just because of the lack of focus on her, but we're gonna have to play it by ear and see. I think should still have no issues in difficulty 7. Difficulty 8, we might start seeing some lingering effects depending on how powerful the enemies are, but you can see what's notable about this ability is that she can also flip all the flip all the positive effects to negatives and work our advantage, gaining charges, but as well as applying blind to the primary. So overall, we got a team that actually has quite a bit of crowd controlling, which is huge, right? But another key ability here that we need to be mindful of is that blind that I mentioned may be needed later on for an enemy that does a devastating blow to us, so we have to watch out for that as we progress further. Yondu, yeah, a great utility character. He's going to have synergy with T'Challa, mainly for his special ability, Boarding Party, that can summon the Ravager allies, right? So this is going to include a Boomer, I believe, and as well as a Stitcher. So having these guys, they're going to be able to provide value in regards to just being able to soak up damage. But, you know, Stitcher has actually really good healing, and Boomer can reduce Terminator. So having those utility characters is going to be huge for us just to take advantage of. And I actually put a Fortifier on him previously from the Gambit raid, but I found this helped a lot because he's just a squishy character, and having him survive longer provides value. He's got some good piercing damage, but I recommend just sustainability because he is squishier than most of the other guys on our team. Iron Man, he's probably going to be a utility character for myself. I don't have him built up as high as I want him to, but he's part of my Bionic Avengers right now, which is still a work in progress. But if you can use him in the Wave 1 mixture or perhaps in your main team, you know, he does have some value because his Rocket Barrage is able to actually you know, extend negative conditions. It doesn't apply just to raids. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the generating ability energy, but I think likely folks will use him as part of the Bionic Avengers throughout the Scourge event, but I'm not sure if he'll be a main part of the main group, but likely he can soak up damage just due to him being actually slightly more built up than the squishier guys on my team, which makes sense, obviously, for his damage. Then Raider Iso-8 to maximize on that AoE spam. We have Black Widow providing some synergy and value in terms of support. So main reason I would bring her on if needed is her camouflage tech here. She gains stealth, which is good because she's squishy and she can take away damage, clear negative effects from herself, kind of similar to what Hulk does. But the needed value from her is actually being able to apply a speed up through the rest of the team, and there's a 60% chance actually that it works. So that's actually pretty good considering we can have unlimited resets. Works in our favor when the RNG can land correctly, as well as the guaranteed speed up to shield, Avenger, or skill military. So it's going to apply to any of the wave 1 if it does actually get have them on the team, and they're going to get that value there. So another key reason would be her Widow's Bite, just being able to have a stun, as well as being able to chain for additional damage. For that reason, it does make sense to actually add a skirmisher on her, so that way there is additional focus if needed. But I would play that one by ear, guys. She's a fast character. You might need her stun just to be able to buy time or soak up damage. So definitely this is one that we're going to need to be mindful of when we're using her. And then lastly, guys, Heimdall and Sif, I think you're going to be part of the B team. I don't want to spend too much time talking about them, just because I haven't really built them up, but I'm gonna play this one by ear. I haven't invested in them either, because I feel like they're likely just going to be there to be a punching bag, soak up damage. That's the reason I don't really have them built up to the extremity of the other characters. This is where they'll likely be part of that B team, right? And then afterwards, guys, Hawkeye, Captain America. If you are planning to bring them on, it makes the most sense to synergize with Wave 1, but to be quite honest, I don't know how strong they're going to be. Hawkeye, if you guys naturally have him built up already, where I can see him providing value is his speed, and he can actually apply his ultimate ability, which has a chance to blind all remaining targets, but as well as the main primary target. I'm not sure if I'm going to build him up in preparation, just because, you know, we're given already a limited time frame here, but I'm likely going to see how the other Scourges go before I consider. He might be one of those X factors that you need to bring him in the last minute, and he can push you higher, but I think the rest of my team should be able to get the job done. Difficulty 7, difficulty 8, and I'm gonna play it by ear for how I can push higher, but you bet I'll be making those videos as they progress, guys. So there you have it. Those are the characters I'm planning to use. My main team is likely gonna be Thor, Hulk, mixed with Valkyrie, Jane, as well as seeing how the waves handle either Black Widow or Star-Lord, T'Challa, potentially. So that's really kind of what I'm seeing right now, but for sure Hulk is gonna be part of that mixture. It's that 5th character that I'm not really sure about right now, and I need to see the rest. But from my testing, Black Widow was really good in the sense to provide speed up, but they were a squishier team with the lack of healing. So that's gonna be my game plan for now, guys. For sure I'll be making videos on the spot once it comes out, so definitely stay tuned. I'm gonna be starting with a lower difficulty, so that way you guys can see the overall strategy before I attempt the higher difficulty. So good luck, you guys. I hope your preparation is set as well. Thank you as always, and like I said earlier, I'll be making videos again later on today for the Scourge, so stay tuned. Thank you, and I'll see you guys in the next one.